These carvings are all by Wayne Gilling, a Manitoba, Canada-based carver, and he was based in Boissevain, Manitoba, then Erickson, where he passed away in 2024, October of that year, at age 77. I hadn't known about this carver until these carvings appeared in auction, and when I saw them, I had to obtain them all. So I did. He did a lot more than what's here, but unfortunately, I haven't acquired any others. But we'll see if I can, through time. I do plan to do a book on 3 Manitoba carvers, one being Wayne Gilling himself, my father, Jack Flett, and Clarence Bowring from the Elkhorn, Manitoba area. So once I do that, it'll be known, and I'll make the 3 carvers known. All their works are quite unique and very folky. As you see, this particular gal, she's over a foot high. The chair is all handmade, hand carved. She's all hand carved. There appears to be a couple pieces of wood, I think, with her. I'm not positive. Maybe one solid piece and then seated on the chair, or carved from the chair. Not positive, but neat piece. Most of this stuff was carved in the late 90s, early 2000s. Then we've got a little tiny decoy, a little cute decoy, measuring about 4 inches, something like that. So yeah, we've got the ruler there for you to show you size. And the next one coming up is an Aboriginal figure. He's done several of these. I've got about 4 or 5 of them, and very, what's the word? Well, sculptural, obviously, but they are carvings. But yeah, very. I just can't think of the word. But it's actually a fairly large figure. I think it's over a foot high, 1.5 feet high, something like that. And when the auction was happening, there was no indication of size. So some of these I thought were much smaller than they actually are. These being quite a bit larger than I had thought they'd be when I went to pick them up. But you can see a lot of the work involved in these. There's so much work. But yeah, this one has got the a crack in the back, but he's carved with the crack. So it's basically, that's where the hairline parted, and then basically carved all around it. And then we've got another Aboriginal figure coming up, and again, fairly large, being over a foot high. Very, what's the word? Very, oh man, I can't even remember the word here. But anyway, take a look, enjoy. Pause the video if you want to get a good look at the carvings, and you can see the amount of work involved is unreal. But like I said, I will be doing a book on these with 2 other carvers as well. So watch for that in the future. That's going to take a year or 2 or 3 down the road. So I'm currently working on another book, which I'm trying to get published. So I can tell you about that in a moment. But we do have another one coming up here. This is a cowboy one. I don't know if he's missing holding anything. One of the problems was some of the carvings were damaged and missing pieces, broken pieces. So yeah, which was disappointing. Some of the it wasn't mentioned in the descriptions that there was damage on some of them, but neither here nor there. I got them all. That's what I'm happy about. Very I can't remember the word. But they're just not descriptive, but very I don't know. But yeah, very folky anyway. But I'm assuming some of these are based on people he knew, or maybe characters from elsewhere. I'm not sure where this one would have come from. This is a lot cruder. It almost looks like he maybe made it in a day, just for the yard or something. Dated 2001. It's a whirligig showing kind of a hillbilly type figure sawing a log. Got the dog by the outhouse and such. So that's a little different. This was in with them, so I just included it. I don't know what it is, napkin holder maybe or something, but it was included, so I just threw a photo of it in. I assume he was doing some other woodwork as well. But these caricatures of various people are really neat. This one's about 7-8 inches high, something like that, 9 inches. Almost an Aboriginal figure, or a guy with just kind of a shock of hair that he's combed over. So maybe if somebody he knew. Don't know for sure though. But these caricatures are very cool. I'd love to know the stories behind some of them, but unfortunately at this time I don't. I'll be doing some digging and researching and contacting family and that sort of thing to maybe get some of the stories behind some of these and maybe obtain other carvings. We'll see. But my initial plan for the book is, once the book is published, and there's also a potential to maybe do a documentary on the three carvers as well. My buddy knows a documentary producer that may be interested in doing one, so I'm thinking that may be a way to go as well, after doing the book, of course. There was some of these carvings that I bought were unfinished, like the one you're going to see next. Excuse all the dinging. People are trying to get a hold of me, I guess. But I'm busy. So anyway, there's this kind of a face mask, or a mask sort of figure. Not sure what it was supposed to be. Almost looks like a female figure maybe, but not sure. And this one, I don't know if this is supposed to be Trudeau or just somebody he knew, or maybe another character, or maybe it's a self-portrait. I don't know. That's possible. Neat regardless. There's another neat one coming up here. Another Aboriginal figure, these great horns, great buffalo horns on either side. Kind of a headdress situation. I'm not sure what tribe these are supposed to represent, but still, they're just great caricatures and great images. And you can see the detail he went to. Look at the braids and the hair. You can see it. He went to quite a bit of detail. There's so much character in these faces, though. That's kind of the word I was looking for, was character, I guess. This one I don't think was 100% finished, because there is some stain missing on the back corner here, kind of underneath the chin, below the ear area. So I think he was still just maybe doing some last minute work on that one. And here's the back. This one isn't hollowed out, whereas most of them were hollowed out. Most of the heads were hollowed out. So I'm not sure why he left this one whole, but most were hollowed out. And this next one coming up, I have no idea what it is. Any ideas? Can you let me know what you think this animal is? The only thing I can think of is a chupacabra. That's what it reminds me of. It's a chupacabra. And very well could be, I guess. I don't know. It's not a bear. It certainly looks like a cat of some kind. But yeah, he also seemed to be into all kinds of different woods. He seems to have experimented with all different woods and such through his carvings. So yeah, this has kind of got woodworm of some kind through it. I'm not sure what kind of wood it is. I'm really bad with identifying woods. So, and you see the backbone of this animal of some kind right there. It's kind of neat. And we've got another side view coming up. And yeah, but look at those paws, those long paws on the back feet here. Kind of wild. But like I said, I don't know what animal it is. And like I mentioned, I got several that were unfinished, kind of just started that he hadn't finished yet. Kind of works in progress, including this one. I would have loved to have seen this one finished. Really neat guy riding in a little pedal car type situation, or a little race car. So, but yeah, he was progressing through this one. But unfortunately, never got finished. I'm not sure why, whether he was still working on it or whether it's one he abandoned or what. But kind of cool. It's got that race car effect. Again, don't know if it was somebody he knew perhaps or something like that. Excuse me, folks. But yeah. So there's a side view. You can see he was still working on the car part of it, definitely. And then we've got one. This one I almost wonder if it's supposed to be Frank James or Jesse James or something. Eyes are kind of cockeyed on this one. Kind of one's higher than the other. But still adds to the charm. Kind of a neat piece. There's another one further on that is two guys at a bar that you'll see that one would go with quite well. And we've got another Aboriginal figure here in a bear skin, kind of a bear headdress. Well, again, very, or is that, did we see this one already? No, I don't think so. Oh, there's the, yeah, I guess we maybe saw this one before. Okay, folks, yeah, I might have screwed up there, we'll see. But anyway, yeah, still neat, not finished 100%, pretty close, hollowed out in the back, so you can see right there. And we've got another Aboriginal figure coming up. Boy, I'm popular today and getting a lot of dings happening. And yeah, so here's another Aboriginal figure. So yeah, in kind of some war paint, I would think. Again, I'm not sure what tribe. If you are sure or know or can identify what tribe these are to represent, let me know in the comments below. Okay. So just a very neat figure. It's got you know, you can see he was really going for some depth in the forehead and such. Not the best one of the bunch, but still kind of a neat one. This one has developed a crack later in the back, as you can see. And we've got another caricature coming up. Again, this one coming up might be a person he knew. I don't know. Almost looked like a judge or some character like that, or a lawyer perhaps. Maybe a lawyer from TV or from the news or something like that, and he thought he was a good character to do. And yeah, it's just a different shot here, done with a flash, just show a bit more color. He's got a blue suit rather than black, as it appears. And he did more than just people, like you saw the chupacabra, but he did some birds and such as well. Here's one here, and he seemed to make branches out of all kinds of stuff, and the branches are made. They're not actual branches, so they're made from various salvage materials. And we've got Albert. I'm assuming this is Albert Einstein. 3 plus 4 plus 5 equals 180 degrees. Not sure how that comes about, but A plus B plus C is 180. Not sure. There's got to be a joke or something behind that, because I have no idea what that's about. And we got a little tiny bird here. This is kind of neat. So just kind of a neat bird with his tail in the air. Like I said, I wish I knew some of the stories behind some of these caricatures. I'm sure there's some hilarious stories. This one almost seems like from a classic story, like something from Shakespeare or a fantasy type situation. I'm thinking Shakespeare, but I'm not too sure. Lots of work in this one with the paintwork and detail. You know, the paint dripping off the knife and falling down the edge even. One piece of wood, like I said. That seems to be, what he's done the figures. Each figure from is one piece. And again, like I said, he did use all kinds of different woods and experimented a bit, from what I can see anyway. Again, like I said, I'll talk to family and friends eventually when I'm doing the book and get more details. But this is these are the ones I acquired anyway. And here's a neat bird. You can see he was using copper pipe, and then he would texture those pieces of pipe and such and make them into sticks or branches. So they would actually look like wood. And he seemed to be using glue or putties and that sort of thing. There's another view of the bird. Kind of a bad photo there with the stick kind of in its face. But you can see the work that he did on the tail. Very delicate tail work there. And we've got another Aboriginal figure in a bear headdress here. So this is kind of a neat one. If you put some light behind it, it has the eyes would glow because they're carved right through. And I don't know whether that was his intent, was to put a light behind this or not, but it would look really good with light shining through the eyes. So you can see it's hollowed out in the back here and meant to hang. So maybe it was meant to hang over a light. Don't know. But with an LED or something, that would look really neat. So, and again, quite a tall figure. And here's a little bird. Well, not so little. It's actually fairly large. Unfortunately, it was damaged. Some of them, I think, got damaged in packing. I'm not sure, but still neat. You can see the foot there got kind of damaged. And he seemed to be experimenting with pipe stone, because this is I think if this is his, I'm not positive this is his, but this was in the lots of carvings, so I'm assuming it's his. I don't know for sure, but it is a pipe because there is a bowl cut in the top, and you can't tell because it's too dark inside the hole, but there is a hole coming through it to put a pipe, or to allow the air to flow through it. There's a little hole in the back, as you can see in this photo here. So yeah, I'm sure it was meant as a pipe. Very heavy though, would have been tough to hold and smoke from. But I think he was carving something, or perhaps it was a gift from another carver. Don't know for sure. I'll find out eventually. And here's Joe's French Cuisine. So again, some damage to this one. He's missing I guess a fork or something like that in his hands there. So there's the sign, Joe's French Cuisine. So kind of a neat caricature. Don't know who Joe is. Somebody knew, a friend perhaps. Who knows? And we've got another view there. You can see kind of closer that there's the damage from that would have been a fork or spoon or something, or ladle or something in his hands, or spatula perhaps. Again, when it comes to the animals, he seems to have done I guess I don't know if this is a loon head or what. I'm not very good with the duck species here either, the bird species, but just the head, no decoys in this batch that I could see or that I saw. Don't know whether he did decoys or not. This is a kind of a really cool fish of some kind. I don't know what this is supposed to be. If anybody can identify this fish, leave me a comment below. Really neat. Unfortunately, it is damaged. One of the fins is broken on the back or on the side, and then the back. You can see its teeth here. Did a great job on the scales. I assume he kind of did a airbrush over a pattern of some kind in order to excuse me, in order to get the scales. Now this one is a bizarre one. This is quite tall. This is 2 feet by 2 feet and some high, almost like he was doing African art, but this is one of his. It's signed, and I believe it's signed anyway. I'm pretty sure it's one of his. I'm pretty sure it's signed. But it's almost like he was trying to imitate African art or something, a fertility goddess of some kind, but or a demon of some kind. I don't know. Strange. Maybe representative of another culture's carving. Not sure what kind of wood. It's different wood than he's used for most of his pieces, but I believe it is one of his. He did experiment a bit, as you could tell. So he varied from what he did time to time. Excuse me, folks. Yeah, talking too much. And then we've got another Aboriginal carving coming up. Another caricature in a bear headdress, the next one. So yeah, neat. I like this one. Very well done. There was a few that were quite well done. And as I mentioned, these are only some of what he did. There is a Facebook page of his work that show a lot of these, but also shows a lot that he had done. I'm assuming family took some of them. I'm assuming that some were maybe sold before this auction, and what went in the auction were the remainder of what was available. And we've got another one coming up here that's not finished, but kind of gives you an idea of process, I guess you could say. Tail of this one has been broken and re-glued. Very neat, though. The rider is separate from the horse, so it's actually 2 pieces of wood that he's used. And you can see it fits perfectly on the horse. It almost looks like it's 1 piece of wood, but it's actually 2 pieces. So very, very accurate in his carving. And again, fairly large piece, good foot or so high. But you can see his process, I guess you could say. And here's another one not finished, but we've got a cowboy sitting on a chair, and the chair is all 1 solid piece of wood. You'll see in the next, you can see the rungs actually down there by his hand holding the bottle. You see all the carve marks here. Unfortunately, one of the rungs was missing when I got it. And like I said, these will be all going up for auction after the book is done and after the documentary is done, if we do a documentary. So yeah, we've got another one coming up here. Unfortunately, his hat is all busted up. He's missing something on the right. I'm assuming maybe a cane or a sign or something like that. His hands were obviously holding something. I think he's got a bottle in the back of his other hand there. So maybe a cup or something. And this one, I don't know. This was supposed to be a rodeo guy of some kind, hanging on for dear life on this kind of roof of something. Not sure what it was meant to be. Again, I'd like to know the story behind it. Got to be something. This one's kind of, and you got all the details. You got the plumber's crack. So yeah, and it's quite well done. The roof or whatever it is I think separate pieces of wood, all separate, and then he's made of one piece. So you can see all sides of him. Again, look at the details. You can see all the wrinkles in his shirt and pants and everything else. Look at those big hands. And yeah, you can see how he's fastened to the top there. The next one coming up is kind of neat. Is extra neat. A very occupational carving, I would say. So we got a tire man here. We got his you can see his pressure gauge and everything as well, all carved out of one piece. Really neat. I think his hat says for rent. I think the cap says for rent. But I like this one. Just, it's very indicative of a small town tire shop guy, basically. You know, that's just what it entails, or what it provokes in me, or it shows to me as the small town guy. This one, I'm not sure whether it's another tire shop guy with an inner tube. That's what I was thinking. It's a separate piece of wood from his hands, so it comes loose. I'm assuming it's a tire shop guy, but I don't know for sure. Again, that's kind of what it evokes to me, is that feeling of a small town tire shop dude. Yeah, so, and again, it's over a foot high. So they weren't small carvings. They were rather large. And we've got another bird here. I think his animals are not as folky as I would like, but they're still cool and well detailed, heavily detailed, definitely. Feathers are all detailed. You can see all the individual little pieces of feather. But his talent definitely lies in caricatures. That's where his talent lies. Whereas the other, my father was more animals. He did more like a caricature of animals. But again, not sure who this guy is. His little chip off the stair. But again, a caricature, bald, got the missing crop of hair through the middle there, the landing strip, as we called it in my family, fly landing strip. So yeah, and got another bird here. Again, I don't know what kind of bird. Again, the feet are made of kind of a clay or polymer or a glue mixture of some kind that he's tried to replicate the feet on the bird. And then we've got the Ninga Rodeo. Now, Ninga is a town near in the Boissevain area where he initially lived. So that's probably what his inspiration for this one. So you can see the cowboy had jumped off his old nag there and is wrangling the steer. So yeah, kind of neat. It's just got kind of a great look. The sign, unfortunately, is loose. It was detached and had been broken off its mount. And we've got another view of the Ninga Rodeo. So yeah, top view here. You can see the details that he went to create this one, the striped shirt. Painting all those stripes would be a heck of a accomplishment all on its own, let alone doing the carving. And here's the bar room scene with an old cowboy and kind of a gentleman on the side here. So that's about it for now, folks. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Check out our other videos. There was another video of some of the stuff I picked up at auction other than the carvings. So do check that out. And be sure to comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can keep track of our other videos. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Take care.